Good morning. Thank you once again for joining me in our Course in Miracles lessons. We are on lesson 304 today, and today's lesson states, "Let not my world obscure the sight of Christ. I can obscure my holy sight if I intrude my world upon it. Nor can I behold the holy sights Christ looks upon unless it is his vision that I use. Perception is a mirror, not a fact. And what I look on is my state of mind reflected outward. I would bless the world by looking on it through the eyes of Christ, and I will look upon the certain signs that all my sins have been forgiven me." And our prayer today is, "You lead me from the darkness to the light, from sin to holiness. Let me forgive and thus receive salvation for the world. It is your gift, my Father, given to me to offer to your Holy Son, that he may find again the memory of you and of your Son as you created him." Very briefly, I wanted to just say one of my favorite little quotes is, "The world that you see is not the world as it is, it's the world as you are." I think that that just is a direct sort of restatement of perception is a mirror, not a fact. What I look on is my state of mind reflected outward. And so when we see a world that victimizes us, we are believing that we are a victim. When we see a world that needs attacking, we are attacking ourselves, and we are seeing a world that we feel is sinful or guilt ridden or anything else that is not loving. When we see an unloving world, it is because we believe that there is unlovingness within us. We believe that either we are unworthy or that we are unloving. And so oftentimes you see someone like a bully who treats people horribly, and our first reaction is you want revenge, and then you realize that that bully has such a poor self-esteem and is so fearful and believes that they must attack before being attacked themselves, that we want only to love them. And so that's part of what this is about. We want to see through Christ's eyes, and Christ's eyes offer us unconditional love, a love that goes beyond any perception of crime or guilt or blame or victimization or anything else. To see the truth, the light that lies within, the love that lies within, and the inherent worth. Our goal is to not become blinded by the lies that we make up for ourselves. Don't let us get into a place where we believe that we are the monster in the closet, that we see a monster in the closet because we believe that we are that evil. Okay, let's see what Tina Spalding's channelings have to tell us. "You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. Of course, the saying, 'Be the change you want to see in the world,' is the meaning of this lesson. You will see a world that reflects you. If you want to see changes in the world, make these changes first in yourself, internally and perceptually. Then you will be adding to the world the correct frequency." These days, when there are many, many demonstrations going on and there's a feeling of confrontation or attack happening, the masses of beings who want better things often misunderstand the laws of creation. They go in with a fierce combat of energy against that which they believe is causing the problem. There is nothing wrong with the demonstration. There is nothing wrong with like minded beings gathering together. But those like minded beings must come together in the loving of something. The environmental demonstrations you are seeing, for example, are often working counter to the result. Those beings seek to accomplish because they believe something outside of them is causing the problem. When you step back and view the world from a more elevated position, you can see that the collective accumulation of individual consumption is causing the problem. All the single use plastics, plastic bags, and these sorts of things. Now, people individually do not believe that changing themselves will change the world because they have been raised in your Newtonian physics. This is what you call the scientific method. There is a simple cause and effect relationship. One person cannot change the world. What this teaching brings forth is the idea that one person can indeed change the world, your world, because you are the creator of your world and you are experiencing your world, and you will attract to you things of a like frequency. For example, if you are concerned about the environment, then by changing your personal consumption methods, you will attract more conscious people, places, things, and experiences because you are accepting your role in the collective. You are saying, I may be only one drop in this bucket, but if I can demonstrate a certain frequency, I can affect the whole bucket. And that will literally happen. This is only one example. We are using it because it is so front and center in your society's media at the moment. It is not more important than other issues. Continue being passionate about what you want, but do not get caught up in fighting against what you don't want. You add your energy to that system when you fight against it because you are in combat with it. You are in a state of them versus us. You are not in an expansive, comprehensive understanding of how creation works, and that will change your frequency considerably. In this being, Tina Spalding's A Course in Miracles studies, before she was a channel, many of us helped her focus her mind and work on the forgiveness practices. There was some deep forgiveness issues this being needed to work on, and because she dedicated herself to her forgiveness practice, putting aside some of the other worldly concerns that other people tend to focus on, practice became a huge part of her day. Therefore, the result achieved a magnificent velocity that some of you would do well to emulate. Some of you look at this being and think, oh my goodness, what a tremendous experience she is having. How lucky she is. The truth is that she was in so much pain from the distortions in her mind that doing A Course in Miracles and the consequent forgiveness practice brought her such a contrast in that feeling of peace that everything else began to fade in significance. Her practice of attaining and maintaining peace became the be all and end all of her existence. When she was in that phase, there was a part of her mind that was concerned that was all her. Let me try that again. When she was in that phase, there was a part of her mind that was concerned that that was all her life would ever be, and that she would live alone reading this big blue book. She was happy with the peace of mind, but she was concerned about the state of the rest of her experience in the sense that she did not live in a way she felt was in alignment with her desires. Now, fast forward 10 years. That has completely changed. This being is living the life of her dreams, but that was not her ambition in doing her forgiveness practice. And this is something we want you to understand here. Her goal was peace, and in the attainment of that peace, she connected to true guidance. And in surrendering her normal boundaries, she allowed us to come into her consciousness fully and completely, upgrading her further. But it was her dedication to her practice that initiated all that, and that was long in the making. Do not think it was an overnight thing. For those of you who are in the 300s of your lessons, perhaps for the second or third time, we ask you to rededicate yourself to your forgiveness practice. Practice understanding that the world that you see and the world you react to is in your mind. It is only in your mind. And when you change your mind, the world will respond. It is the miracle manifesting. I am that one you know as Jesus, and we will speak to you again tomorrow. Practice changing your mind, because when you change your mind, your world will respond. Your world will change. That is probably the biggest takeaway from this lesson today. We are small children. We are like small children playing make-believe in our basement, in our bedroom, outside with our friends. And when we get to a place in our pretend world that no longer serves us, that we don't like, or we see heading down an ending that we don't want, we can change our mind. We can choose love every single time. If you look at the state of our world right now, the collective consciousness is focused on the fear. It's focused on the separation. It's focused on the disconnect. If you want to see a world that changes, you have to pull your attention away from all of that fear and focus on the peace that you are seeking. You have to focus on the love that you would choose, the love that you already know exists within you and with each and every one of us. As we focus on the love, that attention to the fear and the dis-ease, the disease, and the pandemic, to me, it is a pandemic of fear. We will, when we pull our attention away from that and focus on the love, let's make a pandemic of love and light and gathering and connection. And when we do that, it will completely change the vibration of the world, which will change the events of the world. And we will no longer have to live in such a separated state of being. And even if the rest of the world does not go along with you, when you choose to have peace within your world, you will find that no matter what is going on in the bigger outer circle, you have a sense of peace. And that is what these lessons are here to teach you. And you will impact your world, and your world will respond in kind. And you will find more and more people who want that same level of peace or who are already at that same level of peace. Take your time to work with this today. Take your time to choose peace, to choose love in all things today. And even if you're not seeing immediate results, stay with this, because I promise you from my own experiences, it will change the world that you see and the world that you experience. Take care.